All right, we're going to look at your worksheet 14, and I'm actually going to do the majority of this with you. Okay, so the first set, 1 through 6, are simply asking you to put it into standard form from slope-intercept form. So we know we can't have any negative x and no fractions. Okay, so I'm going to start by moving right here. So that's going to be 4x plus y equals 7, and I'm done. X is not negative, and there are no fractions. Okay, for number 2, I'm going to move 5x over. That makes it negative 5x plus y is equal to negative 3. But we do have a negative x there, so we need to change the sign of everything. So that's going to give us 5x minus y equals 3. All right, so we start getting into fractions here with number 3. Still the same steps. We're going to move first. Okay, my x is positive, so I'm good there. But now I need to get rid of that denominator. So I'm going to multiply everything in the problem by 5. That leaves me with 2x plus 5y is equal to 10. Okay, the next 3 of those, okay, when I move 3/4 x this time, it is going to become negative. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change all of my signs. And then I'm going to multiply by my denominator. And now I'm good to go. Okay, when I move the negative 1/3, this time it becomes positive 1/3. Okay, remember if there's nothing over here, we're going to set it equal to 0. And then I'm going to multiply by my denominator. So multiply everything by 3. And 0 times anything is 0. Last one of these. I'm going to start by moving my 1/6. It's going to become negative. I'm going to change my signs. And then I'm going to multiply by my denominator. So I should get 1x, or just x, minus 6y is equal to negative 30. Okay, so that's just the first set of notes that we did today, the changing from slope-intercept to standard form. All right, you still have to do that for number 7. You've got to go from standard to slope-intercept, which means we want to get y by itself. So I'm going to move my x first and then divide everything by 2. So that gives me an equation of y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. So from graphing this week, we learned you start with your y-intercept. So I'm going to start right here with 2. And then I'm going to graph my slope down 1 and right 2. And I want to do that as many times as I possibly can on my graph, just because it makes my line look better. Okay, and then I'm just going to connect my dots. All right, problems 8 and 9 are your exponent rule problems. Okay, so I'm going to start right here with 8. You're going to multiply first. That means multiply the big numbers and add your exponents. Okay, same thing here. Multiply your big numbers and add your exponents. And now we'll see that our exponents are the same, so we can combine like terms. And that's going to give me 3m to the 12th. And over here, we're going to go ahead and multiply. It's going to give me negative 20. And then 4 plus negative 7 is going to give me negative 3. Remember, we cannot stop with a negative exponent. So we're going to move that down, and it's going to be negative 20 over m to the 3rd. Even though 20 was negative, it did not have a negative exponent, so it is allowed to stay where it's at. All right, so 10, 11, 12, and 13 is kind of what we hit on at the very end of class today. 10 and 12 are, they're all for profit and revenue and cost, but 10 and 12 actually ask you for the domain, which is kind of what we touched on at the last minute today in class. I want to make sure I go over these. For number 10, they want you to write the equation. Okay, so the Beta Club bought a case for 750 candy bars for $300. They plan to sell them for 75 cents each. They want you to write the profit equation. Remember, profit is revenue minus cost. So our profit equation is our revenue, which will be what we bring in, so 75 cents each minus the cost of the candy bars. Your domain is how many candy bars can you sell? And remember, that is going to be from 0 all the way up to how many you have, which is 750, and those do need to be integers. Okay, can't have a half a candy bar to sell. All right, and the number 11 is a regular profit. Profit equals revenue minus cost. So we're going to say revenue here is 10x minus 4x plus 100. So when I distribute my negative there, it's going to give me a final profit equation of 6x minus 100. Okay, so the last two here, same thing on number 12. Okay, they bought 200 shirts. That cost them $50. All right, they plan to sell them for $12 each. Okay, so our profit here is going to equal $12 per shirt minus the $50 it costs, and they can sell up to 200 shirts. And again, that has to be integers only. All right, and number 13 is going to give me the cost of, again, profit is going to equal revenue minus cost. So our revenue here is 15x minus our cost is 2x plus 50. And when you distribute your negative sign, we're going to get 13x minus 50 is equal for our profit. Okay, I sincerely hope that all of you have your homework done, including the work tomorrow, considering I did all of it. You do have another function quiz tomorrow, and we will go over the function quiz from yesterday tomorrow before you take your second function quiz.